Hello, everybody. It's me, Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with another game review. This time I'm reviewing Greedfall. It was developed by Spiders and published by Focus Home Interactive and was originally released on September 10th of 2019 for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One and PC, and they will be having a PS5 and an Xbox Series X version coming out soon. Now, this game takes place in the 17th century, and it's an action RPG that centers on your main character, a noble, who goes on an epic quest to find a cure for the Rona. I'm just kidding. Actually, it's to try to stop a deadly plague that is known as the Malachor that is going around infecting and killing tons of people. So you go on this epic quest, meeting all kinds of neat new characters, having them join your party, going around doing all kinds of side missions, side quests, on your epic journey as you explore this new island. Now, as you start the game, it has a normal standard create a player mode, which does allow you to have a pretty decent amount of options to create your character, but it's nothing that's going to be like earth-shatteringly deep, okay? It mostly just sliders to affect like your facial structure and your hair, stuff like that. So you can make a fairly decent character in this game, but it's not like some of the other games that have massive detail. But in the end, you'll still be able to make a pretty decent character. Now, after you do that, you get to pick your fighting style, which consists of three. You have your sword-based attacks, you have your magic attacks, and then you have one where you like make traps. Now, keep in mind, you always have like a secondary weapon. Like if you're a swashbuckler, you're going to have your pistol. Magic, you also have some backup abilities, and of course, the other one with the traps, you also have weapons as well. So it actually plays fairly decent in terms of the variety of the three different choices you can pick with your character. Now, playing through this, I can say it honestly feels like an old school role-playing game, and it does seem kind of unpolished with some rather bad last generation visuals. But if you actually realize, if you ever played any of the other developers' games, Spiders' other games, this is a drastic improvement over their other games they've made. This is a really good game. I mean, it doesn't have to be like earth-shatteringly great graphics or anything to make a decent game, but it comes off as a Witcher-esque 60-hour-long adventure. That's right. To me, it does have a lot of aspects of other games in it, kind of like The Witcher. But like I said, it's over 60 hours long, so you'll definitely get a lot of bang for your buck in this title. Now, as for the fighting mechanics, they're very fast and fluid and easy to use. Your abilities you can have mapped to different buttons on your controller at any time. As long as you have your power meter up high enough, you can activate and use. And then it is a party-based game where you can have up to two other characters in your party at a time, and the AI will control them and use them to fight along enemies. And honestly, they're pretty darn good. I have had it to where the AI of the enemies isn't that bright, and it's very easily manipulated to get them to just have your AI character buddies kill them for you, and you still get it pretty much experience. You still get item drops that way, and to me it was pretty easy to since I played as a magic user most of the time, to actually hit them with a stun attack, have my guys go in there, slash and attack them as I blast them from a distance and kill them, along with be able to dodge and roll them. And like I said, the NPCs are a big help in this. They really are, because they do throw a good amount of enemies at you each time you come in contact with them. It seems to have rather good voice acting, and a lot of the people in this do a decent job with their voice acting, and each one has their own little dialect that they speak with, their own attitudes or personalities, and it is pretty well written for how long this game is. Now, as for the overall gameplay and the story, it seems to be a rather morally complex tale that is full of all kinds of different cultures and subcultures and heavy themes. Everything from the overuse of military, the way they treat people, to even down to almost like getting rid of somebody just because they don't believe your belief, or they're like an indigenous tribe in the area, and because it is about colonization of this island, to where it does lead to some pretty dark stuff. But honestly, it is a decent swashbuckling adventure. Honestly, hands down, I think the best part of this has to be the environments of the game world itself. They are pretty vibrant and varied in terms of just the way they're designed, though I did find my character getting hung up on a lot of things. You'll have like an open area, and your guy will be like, nope, I can't go over this rock, because there's no real dedicated jump button. They have a little icon that'll pop up when there's like an area you can climb or a door you can go through, but hands down, I think it would have helped a little bit better if it was actually made it to where your character could, in fact, walk over a lot of stuff. You'll come to like a pile of wood and your guy's like, nope, I ain't crossing that. And, it can lead to some issues. But besides that, for this $50 adventure, it has a lot of gameplay, tons of side quests that a lot of them are very well written. I love the ability to actually customize your character, to be able to modify your gear and your equipment. It has a kind of, it's simplified, but still a decent crafting system set up in it. And honestly, it also has a lot of dialogue choices that you can make, and based on certain abilities your character has, you'll be able to do stuff like either smooth talk somebody, threaten them, be diplomatic with them, or even bribe them if you have enough money. And I do like the different variations in what you can do when you're making your dialogue choices to progress through the story. And honestly, it is a really good game from the development group Spadas. I know I keep saying it weird. This hands down is one of their better games. And while it won't make your jaw drop to the floor over its terms of graphics and complexity and overall game design, it is still a really good adventure that is actually fun, frantic, and really fun playing. Now, as for my pros and cons of this game, first up, I'm going to say the pros. Hands down, I do like the combat mechanics. They're quick and easy to use. As you progress your character and level them up and get all kinds of different new moves and abilities, it's really easy to actually control your character to fight these enemies. I like the customization that is in this. It's rather deep, and your ability to actually take your weapons and gear and modify them is actually really well done. And like I said, it's not like award-winning style, but it definitely does get the job done. I love a lot of the side quests. Once again, this is another game with tons of side quests, and I do feel that a lot of times most of the side quests are funner and better than the original main story quest. And hands down, the major pro is the game world. The way it's designed, the way everything looks all gritty and dirty. Hands down, it is a beautiful game world. Now, on to the cons of this game. First up is the lip syncing. The lip syncing is god awful. It all looks like they're chewing bubblegum. Their voices really hardly ever match up to what their character on screen is saying. And that is a minor nitpick, but honestly, that's still something that bothers me. The next problem I have with this game is it does seem to have a lack of polish in it. Maybe the next gen high-res versions will fix that a lot, but the current version that I got to play, while it's definitely playable, it just doesn't look that good. I realize this game did come out in 2019, but still, it just still does not really look that good. The other thing I noticed, the NPCs are stupid. Their AI is really poorly written. You can clearly see like NPCs in the background running into walls, walking in circles, doing stupid stuff that, brings back good old memories of Cyberpunk 2077. Now, and the other thing that really bothered me, which I noticed, and it got to a point where it really bothered me, is I love the way the cities look on the outside. They're really dirty, they're gritty, they look lived in. They almost look like everyone died from the damn plague, because there's hardly anyone in them, which is a shame, but they're really well designed in the way they look, the way the grittiness is. But when you get inside, like the main buildings, they're almost like a copy and paste. Every single city seems to have the same building that you go into, and other than maybe having like a bale of hay or a ladder in a different location, fundamentally all the inside locations are the same as well. So that's kind of a disappointment in a game like this. That and the other thing I noticed, the day and night cycle don't really seem to do much. I mean, most games you would expect the day or night cycle would affect like the NPCs or the enemies, and it doesn't really seem to do much in this more than it's just a visual aspect. I could be wrong, but I didn't really notice much of a difference. But in the end, I personally feel that Greedfall is definitely worth playing. The reason why I did this review and I didn't do it originally a long time ago is this game I never played, and it is part of the PlayStation Plus free games of January. So this, along with Tomb Raider, you actually can play Greedfall for free. It is a $50 game normally, and it does have some DLC with it. But if you didn't play Greedfall before, I would say here's a good chance to download it and play it today if you're a PlayStation Plus member. That way you at least get to play it for free. Hands down, it is one of the better games that Spiders has made. It really is. It does play well. I like the level designs. I like the overall story and everything. But once again, it just falls a little flat in terms of the polish. But in the end, it still actually is a functioning game that you can play the whole game. And other than like maybe some bugs here and there and one crash, I was able to play this whole game without it messing up. And that says something for a game that came all the way back out in 2019. This was Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to smash that like button. Leave your comments so I can answer each and every one of them personally. And remember, I always end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out until next time.